Hello, and welcome to the Troyiverse. It is episode 20. Wow. And today is March 2nd. So, if you listened to my last podcast, episode 19, you know that I did that on, was that the 18th? So, it's so funny because I would have tried to say a joke of like, oh, it was all good just a week ago, but it wasn't because, of course, we was already dealing with the calamity of the pedophile baby-eating president that shits on himself. Now this incompetent orange blob of flesh illegally bombed Iran with Israel and started World War III. So I am outside again, of course, grocery shopping, going to get Chinese food because I never got the Chinese food the last time I said I wanted to get it. Did a lot of shopping, got tired, was like, I'm just going to go home. But getting Chinese food today. But also got gas. Filled up my tank because I don't know when the price hike on gas is going to erupt. No pun intended. I guess pun intended. To exorbitant amount of prices because of Iran stopping their sea depot of sending oil out into the world, as well as America bombing the oil line of one of Iran's oil pipelines. So I will say this, I am a bit confused because when people talk about Trump's war so he can avoid the Epstein files and, try to pull some bullshit where he got to do an emergency because it's a war time now, so there's no midterms because we don't need to do that and vote him and all the rest of the Republicans out to get the Democrats or independents. Because remember, guys, it's not just Democrats and Republicans. They are the Green Party, the Independent Party, the Libertarian Party. There is a multiple plethora of representatives that aren't just Democrats and Republicans. So you can vote however, but as long as we vote the Republicans out, I could give two shits. However, that's not what I'm confused about. What I'm confused about is every time people are talking about Trump's war and starting World War III, it feels like it's a lot of French Americans in this conversation because they keep saying we are in a war. I'm not in the war. I was not conferred. No one discussed anything to me on the, February 28th at like 3 something in the morning. I was up. I know I was up because I went to sleep around like 4 something. So when I woke up and they was like, oh, Trump went to war and helped Israel, yada, yada, yada. I was like, that's funny because everybody keeps saying we in war. We're in war now. And I'm like, no, we're not. I'm not. I'm not a part of this. So, I don't know why everybody keeps saying we as Americans is going to war, but I'm not doing that. But I did find it funny that Trump literally did the King Farquaad from Shrek. Like, there will be sacrifices, and I'm going to let y'all all die. I'm willing to do that. Those are the sacrifices I'm willing to make to let all y'all die. Cause like, what is? Come on. Anyway, this is wild. Anyhow, fuck ICE, fuck Trump, fuck the pedophile, human-eating elites. Just go away. go do something. Um, yeah. So, with that being said, let's jump into this episode. So, I want to continue talking about the things I've learned when I was like dating and learning about life and people and yada 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 when I was in my 20s, which it's going to be sporadic and it will be stories will jump all over the place as well as interconnect with other stories, and it will more likely be a smorgasbord of just story goulash at this point until I reach like my 30s or something like that, because my 20s were a mixture of what's that movie with also the Dawson died with James Van Der Beek where he was a drug dealer. No, he wasn't a drug dealer. He was one of the people who was getting drugs from the drug dealer. Was it Go? Go. All right. So my life was a mixture of a scene from Go, American Pie, Tales from the Hood, and I want to say like Animal House or any of the old school, like any of the old like where it was just a bunch of guys and they had some women friends and they just would get drunk. Waiting was definitely one of my in life, real life stories. Like I used to work in a lot of different dietary facilities. I worked at the kitchen staff for a lot of different elderly care homes and nursing homes and nunneries and yada yada yada. I did a lot of jobs, honestly. Like from my first job, which was Burger King in Doylestown, to UPS, back and forth at UPS, Jiffy Lube. Like I said, the nursing homes. I worked at a nunnery. Nunnery is when I first found out that nuns actually drink alcohol. They actually have a whole. Basically, it's like a wine and spirit slash distillery deli, like where they sell beer and stuff at, in their lower cellar. Like the door has to be locked, yada yada yada. But yeah, they got everything: vodka, wine, rum, wine coolers, beers, all the different varieties, everything that you could think of. It literally, once again, it felt like the scene from Hot Fuzz where he walk into the garage and they see all the guns and ammo and like the C-bomb and everything. It was like the power of Grayskull. Like it, I didn't know. I didn't know until I didn't know. Until I knew what I now know. And I took that to heart. I took that personally, and I took it for a motto of my life of just saying, I don't know what I don't know until I know it. And I let that be a compass for me to basically chart my way through life when it comes to situations and people and, yada, yada, yada. Because I don't know any of y'all. I don't know at this point, even in my journey now, my healing journey now, being 44, I didn't know my own blood family. Like I was under a illusion and a delusion that, the people that called me friends or I called friends were actually genuine individuals who felt and moved the same way that I did. And I was completely wrong because I was like, nope, I am on my own unique journey and they are on their own unique journey. And even though we have similarities, there's no distinct particle alignment that we are distinctly identical in exactly how we walk and how we move. And that was something that even now recently I just learned, and I was just like, oh, that was a kick to the head of me truly embodying that and understanding that. Like I love and I still care about everybody who has been in my life and who helped me on my journey and helped me to understand myself better and understand the world around me better. However, I I can disassociate myself from being in a point where I have to be this embodiment of untapped, unlimited energy for others when in reality I need that for myself, and I'm not going to allow myself to be drained because of the fact that I do want to help. I just want to help people. I want to help others as well as when the time comes and if I do need it, I can ask for help myself and just have it be a reciprocal thing. I'm not, and the thing is, because I've done everything myself basically my whole life, it's very rare when I ever do really need help from anybody. But just the common idea of being like, oh, if I could, I would, and they would reciprocate. It just feels great. However, until that actually becomes a reality, I'm only going to focus on what's real. And what's real right now is me healing myself. And if I do run across others who do need a helping hand that I feel okay or comfortable with helping with, then I will. And that's basically all we're doing. Like my herniated disc, sciatic nerve, the whole process. When I tell you, I'm walking without my cane now. Like I still use it because it's a banging ass cane. I love that cane, but it's more so decoration now. Like I said, I'm basically like the guy from that Bullet Train. That's what it was. The Yakuza boss from Bullet Train that had his sword cane. He needs it, but he doesn't need it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm at that point where I'm just like, yeah, I'm kind of relaxing and walking around with my cane, but it's not a factor that is what I need right now. But yeah, more so for security than anything else, or just an extra crutch, if you will. But yeah, so with what I started learning and understanding when it came to dating, it came to just being myself and having adventures and living life. When I tell you, I almost died. I lost count on how many times I almost died. But I'm still here, so there's no reason to dwell on that because all those made amazing stories that allowed me to be who I am now and to be so grateful and cherish the things that I can experience and that I have already experienced to get me to this point. So, and also allowing me to gain the wisdom and the knowledge that I have to not, how can I say, believe that because someone else experienced it and they told me about it, that now I'm wholeheartedly saying, yeah, Joe Blow over there told me that they ate, poppy seeds and ginger root, and then they felt like they can fly, and they felt like Captain America, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm going to be like, I ate chia seeds and mixed it with, jackfruit, and that made me wide awake like I had coffee, blah, blah, blah. I don't even like coffee, blah, blah. Like, I can say the experiences that I had, and I can say if they were good or not. I'm my own judge. And I think that is the situation right now that has drew me back from society and people at large, because once again, it comes back to accountability. People don't want to be accountable for their own actions. They want to judge and point fingers at somebody else's life and say, I wouldn't do that, so everything you're doing is bad. When it's like, hey, that's that person's journey. Like, I'm not saying that everybody should go and do the things that they feel they should do if it means, doing the dumb shit that the pedophile fucking human eating president fucking did and just was like, hey, I'm just gonna eat humans and be a pedophile and then lie about it. This shit is out there. This shit is out there. Like, what the fuck? Matter of fact, I'm pissed off at the whole fucking situation. Like, how is it that y'all literally had the fucking, was it the Golden Globes, the Oscars, whatever fucking bullshit ass fucking award ceremony, and nobody was there rating that bitch? No FBI. Well, we already know why the FBI wasn't there, because they corrupt this shit too. No fucking, like, nothing. No type of police just coming in there, just handcuffing major celebrities and being like, yeah, it's time for y'all to do your perk walk. Like, fuck y'all. This shit is fucking ridiculous. So, anyway. Not my line, not my circus. Oh, I actually like saying not my line, not my circus, because my, how can I say this? My daughter's great grandmom on her mom's side used to always say, not my monkey, not my circus. I always thought it was a racist act that, that parasites made, and she probably overheard because, she was very older woman. So instead of it being racist, I changed it to lion, because lions are at zoos. I mean, and like circuses. Like lions are usually like one of the main attractions in a circus. Like, they picked the head of the lion. Like, that's why, was it Siegfried or Rory got mauled by the fucking their lion or tiger? But it wasn't a bear. Oh my! But I don't know. I'm not gonna. I'm digressing. But yeah, like, I started. It wasn't starting. It was always the same thing. I had agenda, and the thing about my agenda was I just wanted to experience life, and I wanted to meet as many different people as possible so that I could have the best experience that I could in my life. I would always be authentic and honest about my purpose or what I was doing, which was get drunk, have fun, and hopefully find somebody that I find attractive to have sex with. That was always my agenda. And every time I found somebody that I found attractive, I would instantly be like, hey, I find you attractive. I'm not sure how your night's going, but I would like to spend some more time with you, get to know you, and see where it goes. And hopefully, maybe have some sex. And honestly, it worked out more times than it did. Of course, you'll have the people that will jump up and get all mad. I can't, that's all you want is sex, blah, blah, which that's all they heard, which means that's their own dysfunction. But regardless of anything, what I've learned from that, multiple things that I learned from that is, one, I appreciate the fact that I was so candid in my honesty, because honestly, it allowed me to weed out a lot of people that was going to, A, waste my time, and B, I was going to waste their time, as well as it led me to meet so many amazing different people, and be able to interact and enjoy them and yada yada yada. Like, because a lot of people, even the ones that it didn't work on, me being honest with it, saying this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, it still garnered me to share amazing experiences or amazing conversations with these people, because after the sex is done, I still want to have conversations with people. But even before the sex gets to, being had, you have to have conversations with people. Hence why it was always amazing when I would just cut out the one-on-one conversation of talking to different individuals about sex and sexuality and stuff like that. And I would just make it a group conversation. And the beautiful part was, in this group setting or group conversation, I was able to discern and get a gauge on those that were willing to communicate, those who were open-minded to being inquisitive, and those who pondered it but still may have been a little bit apprehensive because of society's need to try to act like women who enjoy their sexual desire are labeled something negative. But realistically, even in my travels learning that, most times than not, the guys and women who used to label other women like sluts or whores, yada yada yada, any other derogatory names, were literally just either jealous or they weren't, or they wanted to be with that woman or person, and the woman or person said no. And I understand that because there has been many a times where there has been different individuals who've been attracted to me, men and women, yada yada yada, and non-binary. And I'm like, no, I'm good, I'm okay, no thank you. And then I become the bad guy because of the fact that I choose my own body autonomy and being like, no, I'm good, I don't want to associate with mixing my sexual aura with yours. Now all of a sudden I'm this, I'm that, and I'm like, it's just my preference. Like I choose to say who I want to stick myself into, or who I want to put my lips on, or have their lips on me. Like, and that's the same consent and body autonomy. Like I want, and I preach about in my own way about consent and sexuality with everybody. And it's so funny when seeing it from both sides, seeing it from all sides, honestly. I mean, as a Gemini, I purposely allow myself to see all the different nuances and facets and perspectives that I can, so that when it comes down to it, I'm not just going to be uneducated or pig-headed about a situation and saying, oh, just because I thought about it in this one way, that's the only way that that can possibly be. And then stick my heels in and being like, yeah, I know just because of the fact that I grew up with bakers and cooks and chefs and stuff like that in my family, that everybody did. Like, excuse me, sorry, I had a cough. Like, it's not one of those things where just because I was raised in that manner, where I seen them cooking, I seen them baking, and then eventually I went to YouTube and started looking up different cooks and different baking, and I started looking up different recipes and stuff like that on my own, and learning how to cook different meals outside of the meals that I was accustomed to by my family. So it became a thing where taking that and applying that to everyday real world, like, facets and events, situations, it gave me a better understanding of the people around me, because it allowed me to, again, understand that I don't know what I don't know until I know it. So it gave me an open mind to listen to others. And then it became a thing where I started becoming like devil's advocate for a lot of things. Not everything, because I choose to make sure that I align myself with the things that are things I can stand for. And if I don't stand for it, I'm not going to be a devil's advocate for it. So, yeah, it'll be a thing where if I'm talking to males about women, I'll be double advocate for women, because if every time any of my previous male friends would be like, women are just too emotional, blah blah, I'm like, everybody's emotional. Everyone has emotion. Just because you wasn't able to be taught, or now that you're an adult, take accountability and responsibility to understand your own emotions, other than just being angry and being happy and being horny, then that's something that you have to, like, figure out if you choose to, and if that's your journey. However, on the same token, examples for women, if women was jumping around dudes' throats, and I'm like, whoa, Y'all can't keep saying what a real man would do. Y'all was never born a man. You wasn't born a boy. So the idea of trying to say this is a topic of discussion that has no fucking, like, I'm not going to talk to women and tell women about their menstrual cycles. Like, now, I have read up on all the lessons. I read up on all the data. I understand that basically, typically, for a majority of women, they only have like 1 week of just comfort with their body. The other 3 weeks of the month is shit. Like, the 1 week that they're on their menses is shit for a lot of them. Some of them is a breeze. I heard a lot of stories where people are like, oh yeah, it's my week and I'm fine. Like, at the most they have to use like a heating pad and they have at the lowest setting, just a minor discomfort. And other people just like a goddamn medieval mace ball with spikes rolling through their goddamn uterus. So, but yeah, like the week before of the bloating and the nauseous feelings and the headaches and the temperature fluctuations, and then the week after of their body trying to regulate off of having the menses, and then, you know, that shiny 1 week of them being great. And that's not every case, because I don't know every woman, but I have spoken to a lot of different women about this, and a lot of women told me their own unique experiences. So even if they told me that, I'm not going to be like, well, real woman, they don't only need blah, 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 blah. Like, that's why I'm like, I enjoy having conversations with people, but the problem that I usually encounter is when I'm having these discussions, people have a tendency to, and this is for both and non-genders that I've had conversations with, and in this regard, they have a tendency to generalize and individualize themselves and their genders or other genders within the same conversation. It will be a thing of, and this is, like I said, once again, non-gender distinct. So it'll be a thing of, if one individual will be like, oh yeah, all blah 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 do this, and I'm like, well, that's not fair, because if I said all blah 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 did that, they'd be like, well, I didn't. And it's like, well, that's the same thing I'm saying. I'm not all men. I'm not a monolith. Everything that every man has done is not something that I did. And if I can try to do a thing of being like, yeah, but it's just because all of y'all are capable of doing it. It's like, yeah, everybody's capable of doing anything. That's not a got you moment. That's just a fact. Everybody is capable of anything. Joker in the Killing Joke said it best. Like, everybody has that one bad day that can switch them off and make them do the most extreme shit ever. And like, so to say anything is possible is literally just saying anything is probable. And that's basically it. So, which is why I always be like, it's so interesting, this new gender war that keep going off and on, because it's like, y'all can't, people keep using all these extremes to justify their hatred of the other gender. And I'm like, but y'all do know everybody is capable of doing stuff, but that don't mean that they are doing stuff. Because if that was the case, then we all should just kill ourselves off now, honestly, and just let the shit restart. At this point, like, let the animals and let the plant life take the planet, because at this point, y'all gender war enthusiasts are just playing in the hands of the fucking elites and the fucking whatevers that want us to kill ourselves off anyway. because I never understand or understood the whole fact. Like, I get why both sides are in their corners. Like, trust me, I don't want to be around anybody, honestly, except for my daughter and my tribe. But, like, I'm trying to go in the woods where I have, like, 20-mile radius of just no humans around me at all. Like, I just want to hear the fucking water in the creeks or the lakes or the rivers or waterfalls. I want to hear the birds chirping. I want to hear the little critters of, like, animals making their track and the trails around, yada yada yada. I want to be able to take my RV, go somewhere in the woods, plug in my goddamn amp, and just shred on my goddamn bass guitar. I want to slap the bass like a goddamn cutscene from goddamn I Love You Man. That's what I want to do. With nobody to say shit about what I'm doing, because what I do is what I enjoy doing, and that's living my life. Y'all can enjoy the whatever the fuck y'all want to consider as living y'all life. I don't give a fuck. That's all. That's your journey. For me, I just want to have peace and just want to be away from y'all. Because honestly, the individuals that I have found, that I have seen, and I'm like, yeah, I will actually really enjoy their company from what I see them displaying, them saying that they're being authentic. I take their word for it, because once again, this is how I see the world, and I've always seen it that way. People, for me, start off at 100. Like, I don't know you, so I'm not going to think badly of you. And that was always something I did too. It was always, I can see the potential of goodness in others, but my discernment wasn't locked in yet to allow myself to understand that even if I could see the potential of others, that doesn't mean that they themselves want to reach that potential. They could be happy where they're at, or be miserable where they're at, and lead themselves to a further degree of pain and misery that they want to give out to everyone else in the world, because their life was shit, so now they want to contribute shit to everybody else's life. Because why would anybody else not want to enjoy the horribleness that they had to endure type shit? But, you know, that's what I would say. Hurt people hurt people. And I know there are people out there that have been hurt that don't want to hurt people, that actually want to help people. And it's so interesting that people like myself who just want to help, or other people that are similar to me that have been through traumas and they want to alchemize that to something beautiful to help others, that people, individuals like us, always are surrounded by quote unquote black holes and vampires. And it's literally one of those ironic things of just being like, we had to get out the mud, literally. We had to, like, be the rose that grew from the concrete. Thank you, Tupac Gemini. To, like, really show the beauty that is in this world of just bullshit and just horror. But even with that, it's a wonderful experience to understand that the world that we live in, with so many disasters and traumas and confusion, can still bring about individuals and just earth angels and just people that just want to be able to plant a garden and plant trees so that the next generation can have fruit. and enjoy themselves and be sustained. And yeah, I want to make my operation so that these people are no longer so far from each other and has so much distance between us that we can just communicate and we can find each other, we can network, we can no longer have to worry about being around a whole bunch of black holes or vampires or energy drainers. Just to let's just have our day to day where there's no longer a choice of, okay, do I have to go and spend time with people that I don't feel seen by, or can I just wake up and either walk outside into my community and know that everybody got my back? Like, my community is my family is my tribe, and my tribe is on the same accord as me, just wanting to help and be kind and genuine and authentic with themselves and each other. And that's why that's the exact reason why I created the spare totality of Arms of the Phoenix. Because it's just, it's wild, man. Like, it was, I couldn't focus and process doing anything for the last like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, here's the thing. Regardless of what was happening to my sciatic nerve, my herniated disc, my back, yada yada, like, I'm like, I was about to say the Megatron line from the movie. Like, I still function. Like, I still have cognitive dissonance, and I still have my Carl is still running on all cylinders. And just because I physically was down don't mean that I was mentally down. And I have time to think and just process and to do research and understand. And the fact of the idea was always plausible to the fact that we could end up in World War III, and the fact that we are now. Like, so much stuff is going on, man. Like, the fact that I don't know, the president, whatever, I saw, and I don't know what he is in Israel. This piece of shit fled Israel when Iran started fucking popping off and bombing people back. He fled Israel and went to Germany. Like, what the shit, dude? This dude is Jewish ambassador? I don't know. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He fled to Germany. He was trying to flee to other like areas and stuff like that. They was like, nah, you can't come here. Nope, not here, big dog. Which is like, it makes sense. It makes sense. You can't be the bully and be bullied. He literally he paved over Gaza with explosives. They literally was poisoning the food that they was given to the people in Gaza. They was not giving them clean water. They were literally genociding this whole fucking people. And they thought their dicks was big enough that they could be like, yeah, nobody from the UN is doing shit. None of these so-called allies is taking any fucking gripe that we're fucking killing all these people. Fuck it. Let's fucking keep rolling, keep the wheels going till they fall off. Fuck it. And they went after Iran, and this orange fuck because he's like, yeah, well, we're in the Epstein files, and y'all in the Epstein files. We gotta get this heat off us. Oh, this would be amazing. I could just start a war. They're not going to fight back because we already blew up their bases last year, and we already told American people that they can't make nuclear weapons. But fuck it, we'll just use that old script again. Why not? They got nuclear weapons that they're making. I thought you couldn't make those no more because you blew that shit up. Don't worry about that. It's going to be great. This is for the women, these Muslim women that we've literally been talking shit about in other private corners and other moments of the the election and shit like that. Because it wasn't just the POCs and stuff like that. They was going after everybody. If it wasn't Christian and white, they didn't give a fuck. They was going after it. It's on tape. Go look it up. But now y'all bombed the school that was distinctly for little girls, and y'all killed all these people, but then y'all want to lie to the community. And the funny thing is, these idiot ass Trumpers are still fucking hanging out and being MAGA and being like, yeah, we die hard till the day we die, which hopefully is soon. Like, are literally still fucking pandering and saying these dumbass fucking shit. Well, he was hiding in the school. How the fuck was he hiding in the school when they later said they killed him in his house? So what? He ran into a school. this motherfucker, he had his breakfast, he did his morning prayer, and then he was like, let me run to a school full of girls. They bombed the school. Somehow he survived. And then he ran back home, and then they bombed his house. Make it make sense, yeah. But they don't need it to make sense because they're fucking remedial. They're fucking remedial, and it's fucking. I have a solution. I feel like if it's possible, if the Civil War that doesn't happen soon and World War III doesn't kill off all of them, the ones that are left, I feel like, and hear me out, I feel like if we round them all up, and we could, listen, I'm going to be as humane as possible when I say this. I'm going to be as humane as possible when I say this. If your name isn't on the list and you don't subscribe to the baby eating and pedophilia and everything else that was horribly in the Epstein files, cool. We're just going to stick VR devices on them with an AI prompt to allow them to have their fucking utopia, and they could just be in a biodome somewhere in Arizona. Just somewhere in the Arizona fucking desert, just have a biodome and have them live there, and that's their exile. People go there, we could charge money and have people watch them like zoo animals. You can even mess with the AI on prompts and put little things like dinosaurs. You could put dinosaurs in there and have them live their Jurassic Park feeling. It could be a whole just VR AI experience where they're just pacified in a biodome, and everybody else, we can just be ourselves and be happy because no more parasites. The parasites are gone. That's my idea. Now, for the pedophiles and the people eaters, and just go medieval with them. Like, honestly, I feel like the Method Man part, was it from Liquid Swords, where he was like talking about the torture things, cutting off the eyelids and feeding people sleeping pills, do the slitting of the stomach and getting a wire in there, a hot poker to like pull out the intestines and just kind of have like the intestines roll out and have them see their intestines being pulled out like inch by inch. Do that to these fuckers. Like, go medieval on their asses. Like, honestly, like, because at this point they need to suffer, And I'm not trying to have that bullshit ass Christian mythology dumb shit like, well, the evil wicked ones are gonna go to hell. But nah, they need to fucking die slow and die painfully. If you didn't read the files, just go to government, John. It's a government link that actually you can't. Nobody can try pull some bullshit. Oh, the government is using AI, but at the same time, like, it's a government document. Just go to the government website. I'm not talking about go to your TikTok person. I'm not talking about go to your Instagram person. Go to government. Go to the government. Go to the government website. Is there. Can't miss it. Like, and my stomach turned just thinking about the shit I said. Like, shit. Anyway, because I could go on this shit for like another 4 hours, and my mic is not going to last that long. But anyway, and neither is my stomach, because I wouldn't be able to get Chinese food if I keep going on that shit, because I'd just be like, fuck it, I'm just going to go home. I'm just going to drink a whole lot of wine. Fuck, dude. Let me go back. Let me go back in time. So, yeah, it was in the things I experienced in dating and learning about people. It was a situation of judgment and overjudgment and just judgy people, but these same people couldn't hold themselves accountable for anything that they did. It was always, well, I did that because they did that. And it's like, they're their own person, just like you're your own person. Nobody told you to keep eating fucking shit if you knew that the shit was making you sick. You can't say, well, they was eating shit, so I, like, literally, it's the, if they were to jump off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge? Like, type shit. And everybody heard this shit as children, but yet and still, everybody's jumping off the goddamn bridge and acting like y'all were raised the exact same way that everybody else was raised. And we all know that's a fucking lie. And that's some bullshit. Everyone has their own identity and their own thoughts about how it is to raise a child, treat their child, fucking make money, spend money, the fucking things we eat, the things that we don't eat, the things that we are allergic to or not allergic to. Everybody is not allergic to fucking poppy seeds. Like, I don't know why poppy seeds keep popping in my head. Maybe I get a poppy seed muffin. I don't need to eat poppy seeds. I don't even know why I'm thinking about poppy seeds. But anyway, like, everybody's not allergic to poppy seeds. Everybody's not allergic to fucking pollen. Like, everybody has different chemical fucking reactions. We might all are born, live, and die. But just because that happens, that doesn't mean it all happens exactly the same way. Some people get born in hospitals. Some people get born in cars. Some people get born in a kiddie pool in their living room. Some people have great lives. Some people have shitty lives. Some people die in the streets. Some people die overseas. Some people die in the water. Some people die in the sand. We don't know when we're going to go, but we do know that we are going to go. That's the only thing we have for certainty. But everybody want to act like, oh yeah, because I wear Doc Martens, everybody wear Doc Martens. And then when to bitch at somebody or fucking laugh at somebody if they're not wearing Doc Martens. Because maybe they don't want to wear some fucking Doc Martens. Maybe motherfuckers didn't want, maybe I wanted to wear some Stacey Adams, which I did. I wore Stacey Adams all the time, instead of wearing Tim's. And motherfuckers, it was so funny because my thing is this. When people want to say shit, and that's how I used to be, it was always, because that's how I was taught by my mother, it was always, people want to say stuff all the time. You don't have to fight and blah blah. And it became a thing where I was like, okay, well, if people say stuff, I'm just not going to fight because it's not true. I'm not going to like defend myself because that's false. But then because of the fact that I wasn't defending myself, motherfuckers be like, well, he's not defending himself, so clearly it's true. It's like, how the fuck did that work? How the fuck? So, in my experience of coddling motherfuckers who created fables about my life, like, now the chickens come home to roost. Like, I'm not doing that shit no more. Anybody gotta say something to me or about me, guess what? I'm saying something back. And I want to tell you what the real shit was. And it's gonna be a fucking bloodbath because when I tell my truth and I tell what's going on and what's real, I have evidence on everything I do. Like, I've always been able to be like, oh no, I was over here at such and such a night doing such and such thing. So there's no way I was down the road or uptown doing X, Y, and Z with somebody else. Or no, I would never say that because if I do say something about somebody, I'm not going to say it behind their back. I want to say it to their face. And anything I do say about somebody, if they're not there, I could guarantee you I will say that same shit to their fucking face. Because if I got the balls enough to fucking say it in the first place, I definitely got the balls to say it to them first, personally. And that's the issue. Motherfuckers be in the fucking background playing shadow games and shit, which I learned about the Shadow Realm from watching Yu-Gi-Oh! I didn't know that the Shadow Realm was a real thing, that women, men, non-binary, or however different gender identities that you choose to envelop play these games. And I never was able to get access to that realm because that was never who I was. I was never Cloak in a Cloak and Dagger situation. I was always Dagger. I was always the one shining light on shit, being like, hey, did you know this fun fact about X, Y, and Z? And they'd be like, no, but did you know I talked shit about you for the last 5 days to everybody that you know and everybody that you communicated with? They'd be like, no, but why? Ha 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 ha. And that would be the response. Be like, what? That doesn't make sense. Why are you talking shit about me? Well, I didn't like that you said one thing about sex that I didn't agree with. So I just made everybody think that you was just some type of pervert that blah, blah, blah. Because I used something that is my dirtiest thought. And I said that's something you would do. Literally, that's what was going on in my life. It was somebody that was a friend of mine who literally would say shit in a group full of people about shit that he would think about, and then he would just put me in there and be like, oh yeah, that's something Troy would do. This motherfucker literally was like, and I talked to him about it, and I was like, that's some bullshit, and that was one of the last conversations I had with him, because I was like, that's some fucked up shit. This is exactly what he said. It was him, it was his wife. He was at his dad's house with another one of our acquaintances, and another, like, 2 people that were, like, friends with him like that. And this motherfucker was like, yeah, you know, if it was, like, a naked girl and naked woman on Broad Street, yeah, Troy would walk up and sniff her pussy. And I'm like, the fuck? First of all, I'm a goddamn germaphobe. I have a goddamn germaphobe. For one, I'm not walking up to a strange naked woman, clearly mentally distressed, and going to try to put my nose or my face in an unhygienic place of their vagina. Especially if I don't know this motherfucker. Like, first of all, what? I don't even go around Broad and Alley. That's not even the case of the situation. But the fact of the matter is, this whole scenario, like, I can see if he tried to blend shit that I actually do into the story and be like, hey, I can see Troy, if it was a naked woman in a comic book store and Troy was there and Troy could have blah, blah, blah. And even still, I would be like, why is it a naked woman in a comic book store? Like, this is how my brain would think. I'm like, why, what is happening? Like, is it art this way? Like, is this a new naked comic book character that people are cosplaying? Like, I would just be perplexed. But yet and still, I would not still go to try to sniff somebody's vagina off the goddamn street. But hey, people make up shit that is their a custom level, which is the whole funny thing about it. Every time I see people make these scenarios or suggestions, which once again I blame parasites, because I honestly feel like parasites are the ones who first started as bullshit ass bogus what if scenario dumb shit, which then they turned into police doing that dumb shit and teaching all these other dummies to do this dumb shit of what if. Like, it was a fucking time when I was in Seattle and all the roads was fucking blocked because it was like this huge event. I was working Uber and Lyft at the time. I had got 2 clients, and I was literally trying to get home because my daughter was sick, and I was like, y'all my like one of my last customers. I just want to get y'all out here, get out this area of the city, and if I can get back to my daughter and make sure she's cool. So I seen that one of the roads was fucking not blocked, and I was like, hey, maybe I could slip around this side and go up, this street because there's no cars coming, yada yada. I didn't notice that it was a cop car around the bend of that area. So as I pull in, I see him. I'm like, fuck. He stopped me, and then he started playing the what if game. Well, what if a car came? A car wasn't coming. What's your next one? Well, what if? There's no what ifs. Only reason I'm stopped now is because you was sitting here. If you weren't sitting here, I would have fucking got through that area, got where I needed to go, and I would have been still fucking tracking. Like, but now we're sitting here playing what if games. I could play what if games with you all fucking day. I love the comic book series What If. Like, that was one of my jams. But at the same time, you're wasting my time. Because I'm sitting here trying to get this nice couple back to their place and get back to my daughter. You got a kid? What if your kid was sick? How about them apples? So let's move fucking along. Give me my ticket and let's fucking go. Got my ticket and I was out. But at the same time, then we get the whole thing, because that's why I feel like women will make some of the best cops, and they do make some of the best cops because they make up scenarios so airtight that the average person can't get out of it. They're like, oh, well, we seen that person, we seen that shade of lipstick on that coworker, and that just happened to be the same shade of lipstick that was on a napkin that had a phone number on it that was dug in his pocket. It's like, well, he didn't know the number. Well, maybe he did know the number, or who knows? I mean, I don't know. In my scenario, I'm just making it up. He didn't know. But, and he just got a fucking napkin, and he put a napkin in his fucking pocket. Because he was like, alright, I got napkins. He didn't know the napkin had a number on it, or a kiss from a lipstick. He never looked at it. It was literally balled up in his pocket. It's not in the phone. It's not like the phone number is in his phone. So, but, same time, this scenario, it would just be that and that alone, and they'll be like, I have a feeling he's cheating. And it's like, no, he could not cheating. He just happened to get some napkins, and that napkin had a phone number on it. It wasn't his fault. He was given napkins. Put the napkins in his pocket. He went to Taco Bell. But anyway, I digress. Because, I mean, the same scenario could go to, like, or the flip side and be like, yeah, a guy went and gave a woman some napkins, and he had his fucking, like, phone number on it. She put it in her pocket, and she didn't know, and then the guy's doing her laundry. It was like, oh, let me take the napkins out of her pocket. Oh, she got a phone number. What the fuck? Blah, blah, blah. But, yeah. Same regard. I don't even know how I got to that. But, yeah, it was a lot of things of me running to a lot of people where because the things that I was taught growing up was don't fight back, don't make a fuss. Like, people will say stuff about you, and just because they're saying stuff about you doesn't mean it's true. And you know the things that's true, so there's no reason to get aggravated or bothered by it. Yada yada. My thing was always, I hate liars. I always hated liars. I always thought liars were like the bane of my existence, and that was only because of the fact that I used to be a liar, and I knew how horrible lying is, and the degree, a level of discourse or pain that can be caused from lying or having lies told towards a person. And being on both sides doesn't feel good. And like I said before, it was ironic because the only reason I first started lying was because of the fact that one of my uncles, we got pulled over by the cops, and I can't remember the whole distinct thing about what happened. All I remember is we got home safe. Like, the cops stopped us. I can't remember if he got a ticket or if he got a warning. But I do know that he was like, we can't tell my grandparents, his parents, that we got stopped by the cops. He is like, just make something up. They actually make something up. And that was the first lie I told. And that was the first time I lied. And I said something like, we went to the movies. And they got mad at him because they was like, why would you go to the movies? We told you, blah, blah. And that was the first thing that popped in my head, because that was one of the things I wanted to do with him as my uncle. I was like, I wanted us to go to the movies. You know, because most of the time, the only time I went to the movies at that age was with my mom. So we seen a lot of things I wanted to see, but it was a lot of stuff that was like, you know, movies that she wanted to see because she was the parent. But it was like, yeah, I wanted to go to movies with my uncle, so I made up that lie to say, oh, we took long because we went to the movies. And he took me to the movies and we had fun, yeah. And he got in trouble for that. And then my cousins jumped down my throat because they were like, why would you say that? And I was like, he told me to say something. I just thought of something. Which then, because I got chastised for lying poorly, I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll lie better. And that's when I started learning how to lie better, and I started doing like show and tells and creating stories that way, and yada yada yada, until I got to the point where it's like, lying is a lot of work. Don't get me wrong, it helped me with my story building because I had to make sure I had constructed the story so well that every piece of it would be in unison or like that, where there'd be no falters or no breaks. But I was like, I'd rather just tell the truth. It's easy. It's so much easier just be like, let me just tell the truth. I'd rather create my stories for my writing or my journals instead of making stories for my journals and my writing, and also trying to make these other fabricated fables that somebody, if they put too much pressure on, will figure out was a fucking lie. So I was like, there's no reason why. And it literally was like from 8 to 14, I want to say. And then after that, I was like, yeah, just because I would lie about dumb shit. Like, I would lie about doing schoolwork or not doing schoolwork, or being like, no, we don't got homework, but knowing I'm gonna get a report card. And they going to see that I wasn't doing my schoolwork. That's why I got F's and D's and shit like that. And that's why I was like, all right, I'm just not going to fucking go to school anymore. Like, fuck it. Until I was like, let me go to school. And like, I just started like going to Job Corps, and I did that. And I was like, at least let me graduate. I was like, if I'm not going to go to school, let me at least graduate. I at least should give my mom that, like me walking down the aisle with the cap and gown, yada yada yada. So that's why I chose to go to Job Corps, and that's why I also chose to go to Job Corps in Washington D.C., because I was like, if I did it in Philly, it's going to be the same thing. I'm going to just be like, oh, I had to get up to school. No, I don't, and just not go. So I was like, if I'm stationed there, if I'm on site, I have to wake up. I have to yada yada yada. Like it was kind of like a boot camp, like training montage, if you will. I was like, all right, like I got a dorm, I got curfew, I got yada yada yada. Maintain these strict rules. It was structured. It was cool. I commend myself and I'm proud of myself for doing it. And it was a great experience. I met a lot of great people. Regrettably, I always had a goal, an objective, and my goal and objective was to complete this, get back to Philly, and then, like I said in the previous, get back with, the person I was in love with at the time. Which was so funny because even now, it was interesting because of going back and speaking about how this whole journey started and where it all began, and her being the first person I wanted to be married to and, felt so connected to. It was interesting because I did want to marry like at least 3 of my other partners and that I had. But even with everybody that I was with, like companion-wise, partner-wise, like non-platonic friendship-wise, it was always a thing of the farthest I can ever get with them emotionally was I could die for them. Like the was it Garbage song, I'll Die For You. Like that was always on like a repeat for a few of my chosen non-platonic friends. And some of my platonic friends too. Like I'd be like, no, I'll take a bullet for you. But it wasn't until like my daughter where I was literally like, I want to live for her. Like I never wanted to live. Like it was literally one of my exes was literally like, if the doctors told you couldn't eat red meat or like sugars and stuff like that, would you stop? And I was like, fuck no, because that's not life. Like why would I put myself in a situation where I'm not enjoying the things that I feel is a substantial, fulfilling life? And I just have to, I got a couple extra years of just blandless, non-meat food. Like I gotta eat tofu all the fucking time. Or like, I don't mind me eating jackfruit, because jackfruit is a great substitute outside of like tofu. But I'm like, or mushrooms. I could do a whole bunch of mushroom platters and stuff like that. They have like, you can grill them and give them the consistency of certain meats and stuff like that. But regardless, no. I was like, no. It wasn't until my daughter was born, not even before, like before my daughter was born, when I was like, nope, gotta get healthy. No more cigarettes. No more. I was like, no more cigarettes, no more alcohol, no more blah, blah, blah. Like, I was like, no, I'm making sure I'm staying here and being healthy, yada, yada. Even now, like, even when all the snafu BS happened, or the fables that was constructed to make me look like whatever I was supposed to look like, and I went back to drinking beer again and went back to alcohol, I was like, this is not me. And that was always like a prevailing, like, constant for me. Even when like I was in Seattle, I said it a lot. I was like, I used to be Animal from the Muppets. Like, I just was like a ball. I was the Tasmanian Devil from Looney Tunes. Like, I was just a ball of energy and just sperm and like constant thought. Like, that's all I was. I was just a tornado of just existence. And I I just wanted to absorb every experience I could. And then I was like, now I'm a father. Like, I used to go to dinner parties and I didn't know how to interact because at that point, before then, only thing I was doing was either bars or like kickbacks or hangouts where it was just drinking a whole shit ton and hopefully finding somebody to fuck and then going home afterwards or spending a night out with whoever I'm at, wherever I'm at, who, you know what I mean, whoever I'm inside. They give me consent to be inside them, and just figure out what I get, like what I do after I wake up. Now I'm at dinner parties talking about fucking paintings and like don't get me wrong, I was talking about paintings and Rembrandts and shit like that in my other parties and kickbacks and bars and shit. But now it wasn't no idea of being like, oh yeah, now let's talk about this, but let's not talk about sex because I am in a committed relationship with a child and help raising her two brothers and shit. Like, it was such a weird changing life experience. And I was just always second guessing myself because I was just always like, how did I get here? Like, it was always in the days go by and the water's running. Like, it was always that. Like, because this was not same as it ever was, but it started to become the new normal, which was like, huh, I never seen myself here, but it's not bad. But preferably, I would rather be at home, like, watching DuckTales or fucking Gargoyles or Gummy Bears or Tailspin or Rescue Rangers or something like that, or The Lion King or something like that with my daughter, or Naruto or any other animes with a brother, or The Real Housewives with her mom, or Lucifer or Legion or something like that by myself. Like, she used to watch Lucifer and Legion with me, then this was my thing, so. But yeah, like, or Chuck. I did a whole marathon run at Chuck one year. Too bad I can't do that show no more. Damn it. But anyway, yeah, like, that was what I preferred. Like, I instantly was like David Bowie and Nine Inch Nails. Like, I became a point where I was like, I'm afraid of Americans. I'm afraid of the world. And I'm not afraid I can help them. I just know I can. But only for those who want my help. But my whole purpose and agenda was literally, I had my daughter here and she's awesome. Like, she was created out of love on my behalf. I can't speak for her mother's behalf, but for me, like, it was genuine love for her mom that genuinely created my daughter, like our daughter, and that's all she was to me, was just a loving representative of a human being that was created once again by love. And that changed me, that warped me. Like, I was still the foundation of me, and I still have my special interests and stuff like that, but it became so muted. Like, everything that I was before came, because it was no reason for me to keep trying to fill that hole that I lost, that hole that I gained from the first breakup with the person I first wanted to get married to. Like, that hole became filled. Like, and it was just, yeah, like, this little person who was half me, half her mom, was sitting here and being awesome and learning how to walk and learning how to talk and learning what her humor was, and did me proud. She still does me proud. Like, she's on the honor roll now, and it's so fantastic because it's like she takes after me. Like, even with all the stuff that she's been through that she should never had to experience as a child, like, she still hold herself up to be able to be on an honor roll and just show how amazing she really is, which is chip off the old block. Because I mean, her dad over here on the president's list and the dean's list, she on the honor roll. Like, it's what we do. Crab cakes and football. That's what Maryland does. Like, so, like, for real, like, it's just one of those things where I'm so grateful for the life that I've led and the person I've become, because I don't recognize, even when I share these stories, even when I laugh at them, or I get, or I've gotten bothered by it when I was affected by it, or when I become nostalgic about certain things, it's still funny to me because I'm connected to these stories because these were my life experiences, but I don't feel connected to the energy of it anymore because I'm so much more now. I'm above it now. It bores me. And it's funny because I have gone back to kind of like my factory reset, where I'm like, the things that I enjoy, the things about myself I enjoy, are literally just my quiet time, or seeing new story concepts being presented either in book form, comic book form, novel form, ebook form, television, movies, video games, life itself, just seeing different avenues of different perspectives and opinions that can be taken, good, bad, or indifferent, because it opens me up to be able to see more, understand more, to process more from outside of my own perspective of perception. And it's just, again, such a beautiful experience, but at the same time, I'm able to do this in solitary. Like, I'm able to look at TikToks or YouTube or Twitter or X or Twitch, and like dive into these people's lives for a moment and watch them play games, or watch them experience movies or TV shows, experience them reading books and their reactions to it, and to engage with them, to understand, oh, okay, like, I like that you had that opinion, or I like that your perspective was led you here to this opinion or this thought process, because I never thought. That's why I enjoy watching Doctor Who with people so much, because I know the things I see, and I know for me, if the sonic screwdriver pops out, my focus is probably going to go into the light when it flashes on, or whatever the fiction, whatever the Sonic is next to, while the camera is like zoomed in on it, while the light is on it, or something like that. Like, somebody else might not look at the light; they might look at the device that the light is affecting, or the screwdriver is affecting. They might be looking at the actor and how the actor is like pointing. Because that's the thing. I seen a drawing of Jodie holding her Sonic, and it was like they over exaggerated her arms, and I never paid attention to it, because when she does, she really does like extend her arm out as if it's like I'm going to like this is bug spray, and I want to make sure it's as far away from me as possible, which is still endearing because it shows the first time when she pulled out her Sonic that she created and it started sparking. So she was like, I don't know. I don't know if this shit gonna blow up on me or not. So I'm just gonna have it as far away from my face as possible. Which is funny. But once again, that's my perception of why the Doctor would have their arms so far when they point to Sonic when they were 13? Yeah, because Party was 12. Yeah, like technically the numbers are screwed up because you had 10-2, which is hilarious because you had David Tennant as the 10th Doctor, but then when he was shot by the Dalek on a penultimate episode of season 4, he uses regeneration to not change, but to heal itself enough to then process the rest of the regeneration energy into his hand, which made the Metacrisis Doctor, who was actually half human, half Time Lord, because of Donna touching it and still having Artron energy of time travel, boosting the limb of his arm that was cut off in season 2 Christmas episode by the Blood Wizards, the B plus Blood Wizards of aliens that God, what's his name? Harriet Jones blew up by using Torchwood confiscated alien technology. Doctor Who is fun. I still hate all the races and the biggest for fucking up Shooty Gaswell, and Shooty Gaswell fucking tenure. Like, he was a phenomenal Doctor. I loved him as a Doctor. Honestly, he is the inspiration of why I actually bought my kilts. I actually have like 3 kilts. I get more kilts after, well, depending on how World War III goes. Anyway, but I gotta, he inspired me to get kilts. Like, I've always enjoyed the breeze and the flow of, like, non-pants garments that I can wear. Because I'm like, it's refreshing. Like, my balls don't sweat all the time, but when they do, it's great to have a skirt on or a kilt on or yada 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 to alleviate that discomfort. So yeah, God, I love the Shooty Cat. Like, I enjoyed him in everything I've seen him in. Like, Sex Ed was an amazing show. I do feel like I wish the writers went a little bit further with his storyline, because I felt like they didn't know what to do with his character, as well as they didn't know what to do with the other 2 black characters that was in the show. Because literally it became a thing where it was just trauma porn for the black character. Like, it was trauma for like everybody in the show for Sex Ed, but it was literally, it felt cartoonish drama for all the white dominant characters, and like all the black characters was more like, it was either suicidal stuff or like lashing out shit. Like, he kept breaking his hand at one point because he didn't want to swim. Sorry for spoilers. Like, but it was crazy. But I love the Shooty Gatwell character in Sex Ed. I enjoyed his character and Doctor Who. I have not seen the Barbie movie, so I did not see him in the Barbie movie, but I know he was in it. But yeah, from the 2 things from Sex Ed and Doctor Who, I really enjoyed his acting prowess in that. But even still, can't stand the bigots, can't stand the fucking racists that fucking ruined that fucking and fucking um was it Whovian? No, what was it? Who Culture? Fucking on YouTube. Fuck them too. Cause they was fucking pieces of shit. Also, when it came to, they always had a fucking complaint about every single episode, acting as if it wasn't because Shooty was black. They hated every single episode, or they would say something for. And I don't know if it was the host, who I had a crush on. I did. Like, she had red hair, she had a big forehead, she's a Doctor Who fan. I was like, alright, can't lose. Then, I don't know if it was her just saying how she truly felt, or if it was just the writer or the script who was, like, just spewing off their bigoted, racist views and shit. But it was always some bullshit. And then after Shooty fucking left, that's when they want to be like, oh, he's gone too soon. Like, fuck y'all. Like, I stopped being a fan of their fucking series. Like, I started unsubscribing on so many people. My algorithm for YouTube looks so fucking janky now because I don't got tolerance for it no more. Like, if you're not saying anything about Trump or the war or the Epstein files, like, at all, then you a bot. Like, at that point, like, you don't got no opinion about it. You don't got nothing about it. Like, you're not on my level, and I can honestly say that you're not on my level because as much as I don't want to talk about it, it's still something that is in my brain waves of being like, that's wrong. Everything about this is wrong. And if you can't even say that, just like, this shit is wrong, then you don't got no fucking scruples. And I don't want to fucking be around people, and I'm not going to support people. Just like the whole thing with fucking Rob from Comic Explain and shit like that. Fuck that dude. Like, this motherfucker, like, now he want to start talking about Milestone and the Dakota incident because that's the new hotness now from DC. DC made the Dakota incident, talking about all the Milestone. You literally just last week, 2 weeks ago, talking about, I don't talk about Milestone. That's like FUBU. That's the FUBU of blah, blah, blah. Now you want to have black people, black comic book characters up and shit like that. Oh, let's talk about Storm. Blah, 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 blah. Like, nigga, you a coon, man. Like, fuck you. You seen all your subscriber numbers dropping, and you didn't realize how many black brothers and sisters and non-binary people that was on your fucking channel that you just alienated because you was chasing after that fucking Republican ass, fucking Trump ass white dollar and shit. Now you see these motherfuckers fucking supporting pedophiles and shit. Now you like, oh, let me start trying to get back with the people. The people that was actually like supporting me and make me money. Nah, fuck you. Fuck you. Piece of shit. Go chill with your parasites. Get your tapeworms. But yeah, some bullshit. But I'm like, yeah, I've been like unsubscribing to so many people lately because I'm like, this shit is nutty. Not to mention the whole, Project Robin Hood that I was doing. Like, I'm like, here's the thing about it. If I'm giving you what I want in return and you're not giving it back, it's my prerogative, just like it's your prerogative. If you don't want to give it back, that's totally fine. I can also choose to remove giving my energy to you the same way I was. Like, because my thing is, it takes nothing to just repost or share people's stuff. Because you made it the same way I'm making my stuff, my podcasts, my books, sharing myself through my content. Because I want the world or my people, my tribe, to see my stuff and know that they're not alone. So that, in turn, myself don't feel alone. But at the same time, yeah, like, I know I have to get through a lot of different black holes and a lot of different energy vampires and a lot of different collectives of just horrible, bad people that just want to make the world miserable because they're miserable. Like, I get that. But at the same time, I'm like, just because I understand that, I'm not going to, once again, keep on pouring out my energy to help out those who not willing to reciprocate that same energy back. And that's their prerogative. I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying that's just both of our prerogatives. I'm choosing to say, all right, if this is not what you're willing to give, then I'm not going to continue giving into you. I want my plant to grow the same way I'm pouring into other people's plants to help them grow. And it's so toxic to constantly hear people being like, yeah, support me. Oh, you want me to support you? Can we talk about that later while you still support me? No, not at all. Bye. But thank you for your content. I did enjoy it, and I will continue to. I'm just not going to share it out. I want to give you a thumbs up or a heart the same way you do me, showing, hey, I seen it. But I'm not going to help spread your stuff around anymore because, yeah, treat people the way you want to be treated. And I'm going to treat people the way they treat me. So, yeah, that's what that comes down to. But besides that, it's been a crazy... It's March 2nd. It's the 3rd month of this year. It's... Oh, yeah, and also, I can't remember the person's name, but it was somebody on TikTok who basically said, I'm coining her phrase, it's Melanin March. We're taking over March as the continuation of Black History Month from February. So it's Melanated March. So yeah, we're still keeping the ball rolling for Black History Month. It's gonna be Black History Months. So yeah, just so y'all know, that's what's going on. Jeez, I want to keep going because I'm not sure what World War III or the upcoming Civil War is going to bring about by next week. Honestly, I'm going to I plan on coming back outside today is Monday. Yeah, today's Monday. I was like, wait, today is Monday? Yeah, yesterday. Time is a construct. It's an illusion. I don't know what day it is on half the time. But today's Monday 2nd. I was planning on coming out Thursday the 5th. 1, for comic books. 2, probably grab more groceries and stuff like that. And 3, I want to actually go to a laundromat and wash some clothes. Thankfully, because I wasn't mobile, I wasn't upright for the last month and a half. Basically, I didn't have to exacerbate wearing clothes. I was able to wear a kilt and rotate a couple shirts or like that, but it wasn't like I was wearing my jeans or wearing my pants and wearing all my other extravagant t-shirts and stuff. So I didn't really have to worry about laundry that much. But yeah, I want to do some laundry, get some clothes out of the way. So I actually will probably record another episode 21. My show will be legally able to drink in the number process of being 21. So yeah, I'm happy about that. So I'll probably record episode 21 on Thursday and see where the orange piece of shit has started up whatever he did by then. I mean, it's at this point, it's because alright. Let's talk about another thing. China has entered the chat because Iran was able to find the U.S. bases through using the satellites that China has. So China's satellites was help for Iran to locate and find the the bases. But also, I found out today, because I found out this yesterday. I found out behind China's satellites helping Iran to locate the bases. I also found out today that there was a picture that happened February 28th that was, I think, released March 1st or today, because information travels quickly now. When Trump and the rest of the council was in fucking Mar-a-Lago, and it had a fucking map with pins, United States flag pins, marking all the locations of all the territory of where U.S. soldiers were stationed at. So, at this point, I don't even think Iran needed. I don't think Iran needed China's help or China's satellites help. They just need to follow Trump on Twitter or just follow him on X or like that, because he says everything he does on X. Like, he literally told Iran, or who was the last person we bombed? Who was the last person we bombed before this fiasco? Where he was like, yeah, the next 30 minutes we about to bomb you, blah blah blah. They like, okay, we just want to move our stuff. Thanks for the heads up. Like, what? So incompetent. So dumb. So stupid. Okay, well, hopefully y'all get to hear this tomorrow or whenever your leisure, and hopefully I'll be making another one this Thursday for next week, and hopefully by the next time you hear my voice, or the next time I'm doing a podcast, that there's not massive craters in actual U.S. soil. Because honestly, Russia's about to get in the chat soon. Russia is about to be like, yo, y'all, because Russia's looking at Israel like, yo, chill. Chill. And if they don't chill, then Russia gonna get in the chat, which means if Trump is still going to align himself with Israel, that it's going to be a fucking Red Dawn situation, or a modern day Americans, I want to say. God, I never watched that show. I really should watch that show. It might give me some tips about how to, if there's any code signs or something like that, where I'm like, hey, I'm not part of Trump's America. Oh, that's another thing. One of the women who apparently have a voice in Iran was talking about Trump and talking about him being the perpetrator and the terrorist who did this, and not being a whole thing about America, America, America. Even though, don't get me wrong, there were people in the background screaming death to Americans. But I gotta check the source because I want to make sure I got it right. But I did hear something, and I'm not saying it's right or not saying it's true. I gotta do my own research myself. But something about the Iranis was like, black people don't have to worry about it. We suffered enough. They're only going after the parasites, which I'm like, cool, because once it's good, it's not about war. First of all, I can't be drafted for multiple reasons, so I'm cool. I am on the fucking hashtag of draft Barron. So if Barron sees he's over 18, draft that motherfucker and let that motherfucker go to war. His dad started it, so let him. Sins of the father. Sins of the father. I don't make the rules. But anyway, I hope everybody can keep their mental health in check. I hope everybody can find some type of peace in these trying days. I implore you to find whatever joy that you can, hold on to it. If it's crocheting, if it's reading a book, if it's playing a video game, if it's working out, if whatever it is that you can do by yourself or with your loved ones, like, cherish it, be grateful for it. We don't know when our last moments or our last breath might be, and I know that I never wanted to live with any regrets, and I always wanted my last moments, if my life flashed before my eyes, to have more moments of me smiling and laughing with loved ones and friends than to have my life flash with regret, despair, and tears. So I will leave that with you, and I will say, find your happiness the best, safest way you possibly can, and enjoy your life to the fullest. And I want to give a shout out to my college coach and assistant. I don't know what to call. His wife was having sciatic nerve damage as well, and I'm not sure if she also had a herniated disc, because those aren't mutually exclusive. But I gave him the information to give his wife about the tips and tricks and tools and the traction belt and the back arch, massaging heated back arch that I have. So hopefully they'll be able to receive those things and use those things to the best benefit of similar or better benefits that I received from me using it. Hopefully she'll get the same benefits and relief, so that she doesn't have to suffer from this pain anymore. So yeah, I just want to give a shout out to him. I also told my neighbor about it. Shout out to him too. Hopefully it'll help him as well. It was so funny because I was like, do your research. Make sure I've been telling everybody, like, do your research. Like, this is what the research I found. This is what works for me. This will help me out. And he was like, oh no, you're my research. I've literally seen how you was like 2 weeks ago with the crutches going to the hospital. So, like, seeing you walk around now, I see it through you, the results of your research. So he was like, I was, which I appreciate, because I said before, I love being an experiment. Like, I love experimenting with myself, and I love doing life experiments. So if I can have my results and my data be living flesh to other people where they can see it, then I'm happy to be of service in that way as well. But yeah, again, I hope everybody have a wonderful week, as wonderful as they possibly can in these trying times, and just cherish yourself and cherish your loved ones as much as you can, and just stay safe as you possibly can, and stack up on resources. Like, stack up on stuff. Like I said before, I got my gas mask, I got my solar power generator, I got my gloves, my swords, I got my knife sharpening set, sword sharpening set. Just, I got my water. Like, just get some canned foods, get some provisions. Like, try to stay safe. Just try to stay safe, possible. As much as I don't want to be around people, I still don't want humanity to die. Like, I don't. War is never the answer. No pun intended. All jokes aside, Like, for real, like, war is never the answer. And all it does is allow these weirdo, elite, pedophile baby eaters to fucking constantly keep doing the thing that they love doing, which is murdering people, murdering innocent people, destroying lives, destroying families, while they just keep getting fed off money, made up money, and literally getting fed off eating humans. And just, they're not even human, man. Like, you can't call yourself a human being when you do the shit that they done to children, to people, to okay. Alright, y'all have a good one. And may the Phoenix cover you in this lifetime and the next. Signing off. This has been a Troyiverse production.